Okay, so ang topic natin ngayon is about the Iupac nomenclature of alkanes. So previously natutunan natin how to name hydrocarbons like alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. On this lecture video, we are going to dig deeper sa nomenclature of alkanes. And natutunan natin that alkanes are hydrocarbons having single bonds. So these are saturated hydrocarbons. So, on this lecture, we will be using line structure. So, napag-aralan na natin yan. This is a way of representing organic compounds, no? So, we're going to use line structure because we know that this is the easiest way to convey the shape of molecules. Okay, this is where we are expressing the shape of the molecules using only lines. Okay, but the downside of this is that it gives the least amount of details ng ating hydrocarbon, okay, or ng ating organic compound. But on this lecture, we will be using this para mas madali ang ating mga discussion and representations. So, konting review muna. Total na pag-aralan na natin how to name hydrocarbons. So, basically, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon are alkanes. So, they are all having single bonds lang, no? So, we know that in using line structure, every corner and ends represents a carbon. So in naming alkanes, we need to count how many carbons do we have. So, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we have 4 carbons here. Therefore, we will be using this prefix but. Okay, so therefore, this is what we call butane. Okay, and on this example, bilangin natin kung ilang carbon meron tayo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, we have 6 carbons. Therefore, ito yung gagamitin nating prefix hex. So, this is an hexane. Okay, so katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, we are going to dig deeper in the naming of alkanes. So, let us say we have this particular alkane. Okay, so as you can see, we have another one line here, no? So, on this type of example, this chain, ang tinatawag nating parent chain natin, no? Okay, so that is our parent chain. And as you know, every ends and corners represent carbon, diba? So, in our parent chain, we have how many carbons? So, we will be counting from left to right on this case, no? So, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, we have 5 carbons here. So, therefore, our parent chain is actually we will be using pent prefix, so this will be pentane, di ba? Kaya lang, meron pa tayong another branch here. So, if we call this as parent chain, we actually called this one as substituents, okay? So, this is our substituent. Okay, so we have another end here, so therefore, we have another carbon there, no? So, let us write carbons here. And we know that carbon have 4 bonds. So, we have 1 bond already here. So, we have another 3 hydrogen there. So, we know that this is we have a methyl group here, no? Because if we have 1 carbon, we will be using this prefix met. Okay, so we have 1 methyl in our parent chain. How are we going to name this? On this case, it's going to matter if you're going to count from left to right or right to left. So, let me write again this particular structure, no? So, we have this structure. Okay? And we have CH3 there. And now, I'm going to count from right to left. So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, in naming alkanes or hydrocarbons, we need to mention kung saan ang location nitong ating methyl Okay? So, we need to write kung saan ba dito sa mga carbons natin nakalagay yung ating methyl. Okay? So, let me write this down. For example, for this first example in which we read from left to right. If we are going to name this, first we need to locate kung nasa nakalagay itong ating methyl. Okay? It is located on the second carbon. So, we will be writing here 2-methyl. And then our parent chain, which is pentane. Okay, so when we are naming a substituents, we will be using hyphen or dash to separate yung location niya dito sa ating substituent group, no? In this case, we have methyl. Okay? Now, from this example, in which we counted from right to left, nandito siya sa fourth carbon. So, if you're going to name this, it will be 4-methyl pentane. Okay, so based from this, which is the correct name? Okay, so this will be the first rule na dapat nating tandaan. For this example, we need to choose the one having lower number, okay, sa location ng ating substituents. So, on this case, the correct answer is 2-methyl pentane. Okay, so ito yung ating correct answer. Okay, so that's our first rule. Pipiliin natin kung ano yung may mas mababang number, okay, sa location ng ating substituent. So, therefore, pag nag-name tayo ng alkanes or organic compounds, hahanapin kaagad natin kung saan yung may mas mababang number. So, in this case, nakita ninyo, mas malaki yung number ng carbon na nasa right. So, therefore, we have to count from left to right. Okay, so that will be the first rule. Now, let us give you another example. Now, I have this structure. Okay? And then, I have substituent here and a substituent here. Okay, so, should we count from left to right or should we count from right to left? So, let me write this first now. Another representation. Okay? So, if we're going from left to right, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And from right to left, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, obviously, if we choose this second example, mas malaki yung magiging numbers natin ng substituents. We have 4 and 5. Samantalang kapag ginamit natin to, we only have 2 and 3. So, definitely, ang gagamitin natin is itong nasa unahan nating example. So, therefore, we will not be using this, but instead, we'll be using this one. Okay? So, we will be counting from left to right dahil mas mababa yung makukuha nating number ng substituents. Now, we have 6 carbons sa ating parent chain. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, we have 6 carbon. Therefore, we will be using this prefix hex. Okay? So, therefore, this is a hexane because this is an alkane. So, we have hexane here. Okay? Now, sabi natin, kailangan nating ilagay yung location kung nasaan ang ating methyl. So, we have 2 methyl here and our substituents here are called methyl groups. Okay? So, we have a methyl group here. We have 2 methyls. Okay, so how are we going to name this now? Okay, so we need to write the location of our methyl, di ba? So, our first methyl is on location 2. And then, the other methyl is in location 3. So, in order to separate the location, we will be using comma. So, we have 2, 3. Okay, now we identify the location kung nasan yung ating methyl. Now, hyphen, both of these are methyl, di ba? So, in this case, gagamitin natin itong number prefixes natin. Okay? So, if we have 2, we will be using di. If we have 3, we will be using tri. If we have 4, we will be using tetra, and etc. Okay? So, we have 2 methyl, so we will be using this prefix di. So, we have di. our group, which is methyl group. So we have dimethyl. And our parent chain, which is hexane. Okay, so this is our final answer here. So we have 2,3-dimethyl hexane. Okay, so yan ang tatandaan natin, no? So isusulat natin yung location. Then we will be using the number prefixes, followed by our substituent group, and then finally our parent chain. Okay, now let me give you another example related to this. So we will still be using hexane. So we have here. Okay, so this is a hexane, but this time we have substituent here, and then we have substituents there. So let us count again from left to right, because katulad ng ginawa natin dito kanina, it will give you lesser numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So therefore, we have a hexane in here. Okay? So how are we going to name this? So kailangan nating ilagay yung location, no, ng ating methyl group. So our first methyl is in location 2. So we will be writing 2. And now, we have 2 methyl here sa location 3. So you have to write this 2 times. Okay? So hindi nyo dapat isulat ng isa lang. Dapat 2 beses nyo sang susulat. So we have 2, 3, 3, dash. So how many methyl we have? 3. So we have to use our number prefix tri in here. Okay? So we have tri. Then our substituent, which is methyl group, so trimethyl, and our parent chain, which is hexane. So this is the answer for this example, no? Okay, so now let us try to solve another example, no? So let's say we have this structure, and then we have substituents here and here. So obviously, we need to count from left to right. Okay? Dahil mas mababa yung magiging numbers natin. We have 3 and 4, and in here we have 4 and 5. Okay? So we will be counting from left to right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 carbons in our parent chain. Therefore, we will be using hept. So this is actually an heptane. Okay? So now we need to name this first by giving the location of our substituent. Identify muna natin ang ating substituent. In this substituent, we only have 1 carbon. So therefore, this is methyl. Okay? And on this substituent, we have 2 carbons. So therefore, this is an ethyl substituent. Okay? Okay, so let us name this. Now, how are we going to name this? Anong mauuna? Ethyl or methyl? So let us try to check, no? First, let us name using itong pinakamalapit. So we have 3-methyl. Now, to separate this substituent from this substituent, we will be using another hyphen here or dash. Dash. What is the location? 4. So we have 4-ethyl. And then our parent chain. So we have heptane here. Okay, so this is our option 1. How about if we name first itong nasa pang-apat nating carbon, which is ethyl. So let's say we have 4-ethyl -3-methyl heptane. Okay, so on this example, we have 4-ethyl, 3-methyl heptane. So which one is correct? Dito nakikita natin it is arranged mula sa mas mababang number pataas. We have 3 and 4. Dahil from left to right tayo. So inuna natin yung nasa left. Ito naman nakikita natin that our group, substituent groups, are arranged in alphabetical order. So, E comes first before M. So, we have ethyl and methyl. So, alin kaya ang tamang way to name this? Now, this will be our second rule because the answer here will be the second one, this one. Because in naming, we need to write according to alphabetical order, no? So, yung ethyl mauuna bago yung methyl regardless dito sa arrangement. So, this is more priority, no? Ang priority natin is alphabetical order ng ating substituents before itong arrangement na to. Okay, so that's our second rule. Should be arranged in alphabetical order. Now, let us have another example. Okay, then we have substituent here and in here. Should we count left to right or right to left? So, let me draw this again. Okay, so ulitin lang natin para may pakita natin, should we count from right to left or left to right. So on this first example, I will be counting from left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 carbons. Therefore, ang gagamitin nating preface here is oct. So, we have an octane in here because this is an alkane. So, we have octane. Okay? Okay, so, unahin natin itong nasa itaas. How are we going to name this? So, sabi natin kanina, it should be arranged in alphabetical order. So, unahin nating bilangin itong ethyl because we have here ethyl. We have 2 carbons, so this is an ethyl. And we have 3 carbon, 1, 2, 3. So this is a propyl. Okay? And here we have ethyl and we have propyl here. Okay? So alphabetical order, we will be using ethyl first, no? So, unahin natin itong nasa itaas. So, our ethyl is located in 5. So, we have 5 dash ethyl dash 4 propyl. So, 4 dash propyl. And then, our parent chain, which is octane. Okay, so, pangalanan naman natin itong pangalawa. Unahin natin yung ethyl, no? So, we have 4 dash ethyl dash 5 propyl. So, we have 5 dash propyl octane. Okay, so as you can see, pareho silang naka-arrange alphabetically. We have ethyl propyl and we have ethyl propyl. Now, this case, ang uunahin natin or ang magiging sagot natin is the one having an arranged number ng location, no? Substituent. So, ascending siya. So, yung merong mas mababa ang mauuna. Okay, so, that means our answer here will be this one. So, first priority natin is yung alphabetical order, followed by yung arrangement ng ating location, which should be ascending. Okay, so, yan ang ating third rule. Ngayon, let us have another example. What if we have this? And then we have here, and in here we have that one. So, should we count from left to right or right to left? So, let me draw this again. We have, okay, so we have here, and then we have here. Okay, so pareho lang yan, ano? So, let us count from left to right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And from right to left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, meron tayong 6 carbon sa ating parent chain. Therefore, this is a hexane. Okay? So, we have hexane as our parent chain. Okay, so, paano natin to ngayon i-name? So, if we will count from left to right, ang magiging number natin here is 2, 2, 4. Diba? So, we have 2 methyl here. So, our number here will be 2, 2, 4. And pag magbibilang naman tayo from right to left, our number here will be 3, 5, 5. So, we have 3, 5, 5. So, basically, mas mababa ang makukuha nating number kapag ginamit natin yung una. So, therefore, we will not be using this, but instead, we'll be using this one. Okay. So, now we will be using this. So, ano ngayon ang meron tayo dito? So, we have here substituents ethyl, no? We have 4 ethyl. We have 4 ethyl. And we have 2, 2. Okay, 2, 2. And this is a methyl group. So, we have 2, 2 dimethyl because we have 2 methyl. Okay? So, we have 2, 2 dimethyl. Okay, so now, how are we going to name this? Unahin ba nating ethyl or itong ating dimethyl? So, let us name it first using itong ethyl. How are we going to name that? Unahin natin itong ethyl. So, we have location 4, dash ethyl, dash our location of methyl group which is on 2. And we have 2 methyl. So, we have 2, 2, dash dimethyl hexane. Okay? Now, if we are going to start in our dimethyl, we will have 2, 2 dash dimethyl dash 4 dash ethyl hexane, di ba? So, alin ang tamang sagot dito? So, as you can see, this looks alphabetical, no? Because this is dimethyl, which is letter D, and we have ethyl, which is letter E. And then, this is also arranged in numbers ascending. So, we have 2, 2, and 4. So, we will think that this is the correct answer, but actually, this is the correct answer here. Okay? Let me explain. Because our priority, katulad ng binanggit natin kanina, in naming our hexane, our priority is yung alphabetical order, di ba? Yan ang priority bago yung ating order ng number. Should be ascending. So, priority is alphabetical order. Now, this is letter D, this is letter E. But, in naming hydrocarbon, we need to consider only the name of the substituents. We should disregard itong number preface. We have number preface here, di, because we have 2, no? So, number prefaces can be di, tri, diba? Itong mga pinakita natin kanina. We have to disregard this in considering alphabetical order. So, that means ethyl will come first before methyl. Okay? So, therefore, our answer will be for ethyl 2,2-dimethyl hexane. Because if we are going to arrange it alphabetically, kailangan nating i-disregard itong ating number prefix. So, therefore, our answer will be this one. Okay, so I hope you learned from this lesson, and I will see you to our next topic.